for real. This is like this is like
Jimmy
really
Kimmel.
yeah, right. This is legit late night at this point. Like once you starting at 11, that's like folks who don't leave to go to the club till midnight. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm. Yeah, I love it. I love it. I mean, and I'm sorry, because at first I was going to be ready at 9, and some things came up. So, but then you said 10, boom, boom, boom. I got slowed down, but yes, I'm locked and loaded. I'm ready to go, man.
That's what it do. That's what it do. Well, y'all know what time it is. Oh, that red box over here in this corner here says that we have been live for 30 seconds, and it is your host of the Late Show with DJ Agony, host of the ATL's hottest dope show, two-time ATL's hottest winner. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I kind of do some things that do some things, but it's always great when I can collab with another high end host because there's a lot of people with podcasts. The pandemic allowed everybody to just record podcasts, but when I say high level, I'm talking about somebody who do this shit at a very
Yeah.
high level.
Well, thank you, man. I appreciate that, man. And I'm very happy to be in your presence as well. Mhm.
Definitely, definitely appreciate you, man. Like yo, so and it's one of those things to where
Mhm.
whenever you have this brother right here to my left in your presence, just know that hold up, matter of fact, let me go ahead and get this situated. Bam, there we go.
Oh yeah. Oh no, not the parental advisory
Yeah, we're gonna need that.
act. Yeah,
We're
yeah.
gonna need
Okay.
that.
Okay.
Definitely.
Oh, I see something I like. I see something I like.
There we
Okay.
go. There we go. While here wait tending to some technical business, I'm here just to like let y'all know that this whole late night thing is it's one of those things to where yeah, you don't necessarily know when it's gonna happen, but when it does, it's like uh yeah, I had your kids, I had the dog, and I'm telling you, it's not this right here is definitely not for the faint at heart. You know what I'm saying? This isn't. You know what I'm saying? So bring your questions and bring your tough skin. That's all I can really say. Tonight, once again, and this is why we choose this time of the night so that there can't be any discrepancies like, oh, we're being bad role models to children. No, absolutely. During children hours, we're great role models. However, in that meantime, between time, we're just two men with a lot of ideas that like to, what I'm saying, and we say the stuff that necessarily according to societal norms we probably shouldn't say, or maybe it's not that nice. I mean, it is what it is though. Some stuff just need to be said. It gotta happen. So just come through here. Like I said, bring your open mind and bring your tough skin, because you gonna need both. Trust and believe that. Got a few people popping in, jumping in. If you in the building, drop some in the chat. Let us know you stayed up with us tonight. Let us know you here. Cause it's a late one. I get it. Folk be having to go to work and stuff in the morning. I'm folks that gotta go to work in the morning, but guess what? I'll be right here tonight, kicking good shit. And if you in the chat, drop some. I mean, if you in the live, drop some in the chat. Let me know you here. What you got going on this late at night? It's one of those things. Obviously, you must be like me and not getting laid either, because I'm sitting in front of a computer. So there's that. Um, if y'all missed it last week, go ahead and while we on to something. If y'all missed it last week, the new dope show spinoff, The Planning Period, with me and other educators, just kind of sitting around really going through not necessarily the adventures of education, because it's a lot we can't talk about considering we are current educators. However, it's just that time where that planning period is that hour and a half you get to where maybe you get to see a friend and have a conversation with an adult before you have to deal with, what I'm saying, middle schoolers, or in my case, high schoolers. So if y'all missed it, me and Miss Parker had a great, great discussion last week. So if you missed it, definitely go on YouTube and check that out. And this is going to be one of the first ever dope encores. It's gonna be a dope encore. Miss Parker will be back on the Dope Show tomorrow night. This is the first time I've ever done that where I had a guest come on literally the next week, but
Mm.
it was a back by popular demand situation. So I was just like, yo, I can't. Like the fish grease is still hot and it ain't got all that crud at the bottom, so I could throw some more fish in there and we could just keep frying. So definitely tune in on the Dope Show platforms, Dope Enterprise on Facebook, Dope Enterprise on YouTube, Dope Dot Enterprise on IG, and also my personal first Facebook page. And tomorrow night, 9 o'clock, yo, be right here because oh no, I'm lying. Tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. See, if you come at 9, you're gonna be an hour late, Joe Iglass. So definitely come at 8 o'clock tomorrow night on all the dope platforms. Kick good shit with me, Miss Parker, on the planning period. And I got my brother Kid Dynamite back in the building. Look like he done got them technical issues worked out, and we finna jump on into some of that dick because y'all see that box over there in the corner. This ain't gonna be for the faint
Yeah,
of heart.
yeah.
The
This
weak
is this
stomach.
is this is for grown folks, man. Yeah, if you scared, go to church because the remix hurts. You know what I'm saying?
yes,
So,
yes, indeed.
so, so I had a lot of time to think about it, right? Because we was young men at one time, and I realized how much young I am not by some stuff I had to do the other day, some manual labor. I do not like manual labor. I think I tweaked my back a little bit,
Oh
Agony.
no, be careful with that.
Yeah, I might need some Advil or whatever, And
Mm,
being out here, man, dating a young girl kind of had messed my mind up, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking I'm gonna, yeah, whatever. But here's the deal. So, I had this Ja Morant thing, right? Big
mm-hmm.
thing then came up. Young guy makes a mistake, makes a mistake. And I think that he was just in a moment. And I think that all of us have like a little immaturity in us. I mean, because you got to think about it. What did Prince Harry do? Prince Harry did at a Halloween party. He dressed up like Adolf Hitler. Michael Phelps was smoking a bong. You know what I mean? He's like the most gold medal winningest Olympian.
Mm-hmm.
Um, a lot of us have done a lot of silly and crazy things. Will Smith slapping Chris Rock. Chris Rock's new comedy, by the way, is dope as hell. God damn it.
Yo, that shit is ghetto gold. I loved every second of
Yeah,
it.
yeah. And I think that people forget that we are human beings. We're fallible. We're men. When I say men, I mean mankind.
hmm
And we do make mistakes. Remy Ma went to prison for busting somebody upside the head with a champagne bottle.
No, that was the brat. Remy Ma shot somebody.
Okay, well, either way, it's crazy. But here's the thing. We do. It happens, and I think that John Morant is an excellent basketball player. We all remember when Allen Iverson had put his wife out. Um, Naked, with a firearm. People are human beings. They go through things, they go through phases. That's the reality of life. And one of the reasons but see, people know what we're talking about, but they got to know why. Why are we talking about it? We talking about it because we believe that one thing is for sure. You're going to make a mistake, but at the same time, man, forgive people, man. Forgive them. Because we have all been that way. I hate that holier than thou narrative that we have created. And where we're not just genuine, we're not honest. I mean, I came under attack about some things that I said about my mother, and I didn't even think that I said anything negative. But you got to remember, Tupac was when he was rapping about his mother said, and even as a crack fiend, mama, you always was a black queen, mama.
hmm
He wasn't dissing his mother. I didn't say anything diss my mother. What I'm saying is that we misconstrue things because we view things from narrow lenses in general. And while Ja Morant was wrong, he is still, man, if you give people like me and you $40 million, excuse me, if you give 40-year-old plus men millions of dollars, we'll probably make some mistakes too. Um, but when you give a 23-year-old that kind of money, they're gonna every now and then they are gonna make a mistake.
You know what? It's one of those things to where I notice it gets the word mistake gets pushed off as if almost as if he's not conscious of what he's doing. He's very conscious of what he's doing, and it blows me because he's trying to fill this persona that you were never on. Like people, like they make a statement like, "Oh, when you leave the hood, you don't go back or whatever." He was never there. This this
True.
dude
Yeah.
this dude came from a two-parent home, went to private school. You was not about that whole gun-tote life. Like you wasn't banging. You was I mean, now there are parts of South Carolina that you can go to that is on that gang banging life. They got neighborhoods in Columbia. They call it Columbia.
Well, yeah. Where's the boy from the doggone show up there in New York?
Charlemagne.
Yeah, he's from Monk's Corner.
Yeah.
Rough. I mean, niggas is niggas. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And
But you wasn't even
and
brought up on no nigga shit. You was brought up on some clean, good, clean black people, possibly Republican voting black people.
I seen that slick shit you just said right there. You know,
I mean, motherfuckers got some money somewhere.
but I do think this though. I think that okay, let's walk with like I said. I mean, Prince Harry. Come on, let's look at that. Prince Harry is there. If there is any real monarchs left, right? He's a descendant of monarch, and he clowned a little bit. I think that everybody has like this inner child that's exploratory. You know what I mean?
Mm,
And there's no bigger wealth than being descendants of monarch from the UK. You know what I'm saying? When you think about big name wealth per se, right?
right, right.
Um, and I mean, not only did he do that, but he went on. He's a straight up rebel, man. I mean, Prince William did the right. Well, hold on. Let's not say that. Prince William did what Prince William did, and Harry was like, man, we not even going. We disowning the whole royal family on some Eddie Murphy coming to America shit. But I want you to think about something when you say that. See, what you're saying is good, right? Because two-parent home, right? The two-parent home, there's a lot of people, I think, this is going to hit hard. This is going to hit
Mm,
hard. There's a lot of people who got involved in two-parent homes because they didn't want to be what they saw. But it doesn't mean that one or two of the other parents didn't come from descendants of straight up gangster mentality, right? Because and I'm saying that because I don't even want to say why I said it because I come under some scrutiny. But yeah. But I'll
don't
say
you
this that
always?
I do. So, but I will say this. Diana was not accepted. Princess Diana was not accepted. Princess Diana was a rebel. She died in a car with Dodi Faye, right? That
Hmm.
Muslim cat. That wealthy prince.
Hmm.
Here's what I'm trying to say, my brother.
Hmm.
When we start looking at even Prince Harry, don't think that them genes don't transmigrate into them seeds, right? You know what I'm saying? And while I 100% agree that you may or may not be around it, I also will say that I have seen situations in life where, yeah, your mom or your dad got out of the hood and they did the right thing, but it don't mean that shit that's in them didn't fall down and fall through into the kids. You know what I'm saying? That I'll bust your ass shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Now,
but
I
it,
think,
and it's one thing to have that kind of intensity on the basketball court, but you treading in dangerous waters when you got dudes in Indiana pulling up with guns in the car on the other team's bus. Now, mind you, we always heard about how places like DC, Chicago, New Orleans, South California, LA area were dangerous areas, right? Don't sleep on Gary, Indiana.
That's worse than Chicago.
Don't
And
sleep
and, and,
don't
and
sleep on Gary, Indiana.
I want to say something. I was born in Wilmington, Delaware, and
Hmm.
everybody knows they saw my excursion up there. And
Hmm.
this, I have tried to say this, and people will reject it. They'll fight it, and that's their opinion. But you can't tell me what I've seen. Wilmington, Delaware, and Camden, New Jersey are worse than Philadelphia. And people say, now they call it Philadelphia, but I'm like, no, no. I was right there, and I drove through Wilmington, and I was like, "Oh, fuck this shit." You know what I'm saying? I'm not.
That's when you're not
I
even stopping at red lights at that point.
I learned the hard way when I went to Camden. And people talk about Philly because they think big city. When they say Chicago, big city, but Gary, Indiana is way. It's sometimes it be them little small outskirts cities that's more dangerous than the bigger cities.
Between Gary, Indiana, you got Wisconsin. I mean, you got Milwaukee, Wisconsin. You got Racine. Racine is the country. Racine is the damn country. But they getting it in out there.
People talk about New York. I'm gonna tell you something. Go to Camden, New Jersey. Go to look, dude. I have never in my. I'm a grown man. I've never been like, oh shit, these niggas about to shoot me. I just knew. I was like, they gonna shoot me. They're gonna steal my rental car. They're gonna steal my rental car. They're gonna rob me, and they're gonna give me a stinger for the road. They're gonna shoot me. And I have never seen anything like Camden, New Jersey before, ever in my life. And
Mm.
I've been in Bankhead, Vine City, Let me tell you something, man. I love Chicago. I love Chicago, but Duke, I'm telling you what I know.
Mm.
Don't go to Camden, New Jersey. I mean, I couldn't even say it. I can say it now because I made it out of it. But between me and you, nigga, I was scared to death. I was scared. I was scared, man. I'm sitting there, and this is real deal Holyfield, man. I was scared to death, man, because what happened was before I knew it, one little slight disagreement turned into from one. I think I told you when I came back, you had me on your show,
Hmm.
and I think I told you about it. And I turned around and some, little dude walk up, and I'm thinking, I'm like, you little midget bastard, whatever. Yo, man, before I know it was like three other dudes over there. Nigga tone changed real quick. Cause man, you in enemy territory and you don't know anybody and you look different. My homeboy, I love my boy TT tell me all the time, he's like, man, you look like a peacock, man. Cause you tall and you got you know what I'm
So
saying?
you go, so you
You
go stick out.
yeah, you got this, you know what I mean? Your fur skin, you always going around smiling and laughing, and you got long hair, you look like a peacock. You know what I mean? You stick out. Hey man, so yeah, no, I'm just saying. But to your point, man, this sometimes it be them little small little towns that, yo, man, you be on the wrongs and you don't even realize it, man. There's some niggas in Albany, Georgia, that's dangerous, man.
Dude, Macon is ill.
Yeah.
Let me tell you my Macon story. So I was dealing with a sister that stayed in Forsyth, and we go to this little bar in Macon, just kind of hang out or whatever. And literally, I ain't in there no more than 10 minutes. I'm in there long enough to order a drink, order her a drink. I hear this dude comes in. He looks at the end of the bar, past us, at the end of the bar, and said, "Oh hell no, I done got locked up, and I get out, and you in here with this nigga? Oh, I'll be
Oh
back."
yeah.
And so
Oh
when he
yeah.
said I'll be back, I just threw $10 across. I couldn't tell you how much the drinks cost or what the tip was. I threw a 10 on the counter, grabbed those girl. I got the hell on. I ain't been to make it since.
So so basically you thought he was about to be a Terminator thing. He's like, I'll be
Yeah.
back. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was gonna either go under the seat or through the trunk and come back because That woman was sitting. Well, that dude that he done went to jail over was sitting in there with his woman. I
Yo,
wasn't
yo,
gonna be. I wasn't gonna be there to find out what happened. No, somebody gonna have to just tell me how that episode played out. On his,
yo. I believe it. I was in Chinatown, right, man, with this chick, man. I was in there. I was hanging out. I wasn't even with her. I met her, and she's looking at me like, "Oh, who's this dude in here?" And this is in Philly, in Chinatown. And she seemed cool, and she introduced herself because the women up there are super aggressive, man. They not, you know what I'm saying?
I
The
can
one
dig
thing about the Southern Belles, they wait for you to come to them. When you get up north, man, women start approaching you. So I'm sitting in a seafood joint, man. I had to text my family and said, "Hey," I text everybody in the group chat and said, "Yeah, I'm about to get in the car," because I started once again, a little bit of fright had come over me. You know what I mean? Because she was
Mm.
like, "Yeah, let's go somewhere. Let's go down to the dock. Let's chill out. Let's drink, smoke." You know, I'm thinking to myself like, "Oh man, this about to be so cool, man. Little Philly chick." We get in the car, man, and she's like, "Shh." So that's always caution, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then she's like, yeah, I could tell she talking to her baby dad. And she's like, "What you talking about? I'm out with my friends. I ain't out doing this." I was like, "Oh, hell no. I got to get on up out of here, man." Because see, I don't know what these phones, man, nowadays, these people can track people and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I don't know anything about these dudes, man. And I know what part of town I was on. You know what I mean? And so I was like,
No
"Oh
sir.
no. I got to get on up out of here. I ain't trying to die behind some ass that I ain't even really trying to get no way." I just was like, okay, because I had to, when you go out of town, you don't know nobody, you got to make new friends. Everywhere I go, I had to make new friends,
Right, right. It's like
And
starting
she
over.
was cute. She was cute, but she was a hood rat. You know what I mean? I ain't got no problem with hood rats.
Now them be some of
I
the
have
cutest.
no
Them be
problem with hood rats.
some of the cutest, coolest ones be right there in your local projects.
Let me tell you something, man. Hood rats are some of the best women, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because you know what they are, and they know what they are. Here's the problem. The problem, the problem is when you dealing with hood rats that try to disguise themselves as Clydesdales.
Whoo, we just had a
That
conversation on that earlier.
yeah,
Big, big shouts out to my boy, the real Jay Scott, man. He sent me a meme that said pretty much the new woke, as you would call it. It said the new woke was city girls dressed like Lisa Bonet.
so now we're about to get into where you really wanted to go before we get into the man to man dating and marrying. but but here's the point. You would be surprised because the more that a woman have spent time in school, the more that she's indoctrinated. So she's the harder to deal with. So when my cousin, who I love to death, said, "Y'all don't want these women out here that got things going for them," and I was like, "Well, who are they with? Are they single?" She was like, "Yeah, there's plenty available." Listen to the words, Agony. Why
Yeah,
are they available
that don't
if
sound
they
right.
have high value?
That's what I'm
Be-
saying. That didn't sound right. Like
yeah, because they know so much that
her
nobody can't tell them nothing, or
her
their expectations are too high.
her sales pitch was a little. It needs her sales pitch definitely need work because I didn't buy
Well,
that.
yeah, but I believe it. I have met so many great women that are too good for every man. See, and then if I talk about some of the women I dealt with, and you say, "Well, that's a rat, that's a hood rat," whatever you want to say, I will say this: my experience has been better with them because at the end of the day, if you don't know anything, you can't talk back and say nothing. You know what I mean? You can't use SAT words if you don't know them to say them. And so it's just like everything is yes or no or
I'll be
and
honest
I'm
with you
saying,
though.
well shit, if the drama is gonna come from the high end and the low end, at least the low end, shit, the motherfucker will eat a cheesesteak smoke a blunt and have a beer, and she already know when she come over what time it is. She be like, yeah, you got some nice shit. I'm gonna have to go ahead and lay it down. But you so I'm saying, you start looking at things, you start saying, shit, simple life is simpler. The because men are simple creatures. They haven't figured that out about us. Like, we're very simple. Yes, no, and this motherfucker at least says thank you all the time.
Because she ain't never had that before.
Yeah, I mean,
Don't
you bring them a
don't know that
glass of
it ever
ice
happened.
water. You bring them a glass of ice water, and they can say thank you. I got to complain to my old chick. I said, "Hey, I was talking about my brother. I love my brother, but I was talking about my brother, and not in a bad way. But I'm like, man, he be getting on nerves. He's like, that's your like. They don't know enough to say anything. So like, that's your fault. He's like, you'll figure it out though. I'm talking about motherfucker hits you with 2 lines. They don't know all of these sophisticated things. But then when you look at it, you be like, you know what? That is my fault. They walk very simple. But I'm gonna tell you like this: you get with one of them, they down with you, they'll ride with you, they'll do whatever you get into a fist fight, and we too old to be fist fighting, but you get into a fist fight, this type of motherfucker that's gonna start punching the motherfucker too.
Yeah, yeah, that's
Telling
real.
you what I know now.
Oh no, this
You
is
know what
real.
I mean?
And I will say this though, out of some of the most fun times I've had has been with them hood rats. The catch is those were also some of my most non-productive times. I wasn't getting shit productive done. I wasn't doing nothing positive for the black community, but I was enjoying every second of it.
But all right, so if you, I mean, to be in a comfortable state is to me is to be maybe when we were younger, just because we was immature. But now I'm like, man, if a motherfucker can pack me a lunch, I can go out here, man. I can whip the world's ass.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But if you got somebody that's dissecting, you ain't do this, you ain't do that, you need to do this. Man, I'm in a state of confusion at all times, Agony.
And see, one of the things you gotta take into account too, at least in my experience, them rats come with a lot of kids and a few baby daddies.
But what if you find one that ain't got one?
She's
Ain't got
10.
nary none, huh?
She's 12.
Shit. Hey, look. Like I said
I ain't never seen
like
it though. I ain't never seen
I that's
it.
how I know God have favored I.
Uh-oh.
You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? And then look, like I said on Beer in the Conversation, if it bleeds, it's a woman. You know what I'm saying?
Some
Because
bitch.
I had to even start wondering myself. And I hope that she don't see this. But I had to even start wondering myself. I had to start saying, well, shit, is this really a woman? Does this even make sense, man? Now we got some other challenges, right? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, it
We got
always
some
does.
we got some motivation issues, right? You know what I'm
Facts.
saying?
Facts. I mean, cause some it's out of the few I know, they weren't employed.
Well,
Few pe-
these people are employed. They might not have the greatest jobs that you want them to have, but they employed. Mm-hmm.
Dude, I'm gonna be honest with you. I just wanted them to punch a clock. These folks weren't employed, is what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well, yeah,
right.
that is gonna be a problem with that. You know what
Hmm.
I mean?
They said, why we don't never go out?
um,
Because you got no job, Tommy. I just don't feel right taking you out. And you ain't been to work in X amount of years.
I I'm gonna tell you something. I know a beautiful realtor. I'm talking about this girl is beautiful. She's
Hmm.
super smart. She's intuitive, and she got some gangsta in her. She from Detroit, man. And me and her have communicated. And I want to tell you something. She's mixed. I'm talking about this girl beautiful. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like the eye test. Uh, you know what she said? She said out loud, "I think I'm gonna become a stripper because that's what niggas want." But see, here's the thing: is niggas don't want a stripper. Niggas want no drama. You know what I'm saying? Now
Hmm.
this woman is educated. And now it's like, as it was in the beginning, it shall be in the end. It's like now we're seeing a revolution of men reverting back to, and that's why when we have talked about passport bros and shit like that, that's why people are um, like y'all want to go over there and deal with all this. No, what we want is just not to deal with no bullshit. You're not
That's
ready
it.
for a real ass woman. Well, nobody is apparently. If
And,
everybody's
and
complaining about it, it can't hurt.
that's what you call her. But my question is, Miss Real Ass Woman, why you single?
Listen, man, these people, they don't realize that these people have played a horrible joke on them, a divide and conquer joke, and they have been very, very successful at it.
Oh yeah,
And it's worked. And that's why the blowback I get, you never see 30-year-old women firing at me. It's always 50 plus.
I was gonna say
Because,
40. I was gonna say the 40 and up club, but it ain't even them,
well,
huh? The 50 club.
yeah, because really the 40s, most of the women in the 40s that I grew up around were really raised good. And most of them do. I cannot, in this part of town that now I live back in, I will say this, that those were some of the best women in DeKalb County. I love my sisters, all of them from DeKalb County. When I tell you I love them, and they know I love them, and they rock with me, they support me, and I love them to death.
No
I have
doubt.
nothing bad to say about them. Most of them were raised in a good environment. A lot of my problem is that I still got hoop dreams, and maybe I want to have some kids. So mathematically, there's an issue associated with that because
Facts.
of probability and age. But the quality of women that they are, I can't say anything about. Now, women who I don't know, most of the beef I have with them is because they're so intelligent and they're so sophisticated and they bought into the lie, and now they're in their 50s or better, and they're bitter
Mm,
because the lie worked. And I keep telling them, look, these people been lying to y'all. We're not bad people. We love y'all. We're the nicest. Black men are the nicest men. We are so nice compared to who's nicer than us. What you gonna talk about? Nigerians are nicer. Who you gonna talk about? Who's nicer? Arabs are nicer. Who's nicer? Asians are nicer. Oh, and I love my white brothers too. But what you gonna say? Let's be straight up about it. You gonna say white men are nicer? And that's not a put down on them. But they don't play that shit. They don't play no shit with they women. All them nationalities. We're so nice and we're so kind that we just been programmed to, we just got to take shit, and we don't even know a better way. So now when people started finding a better way, it's like, oh, y'all don't know how to handle a real woman. No, we just don't want to die from stress, goddamn it.
that part. Because I'm telling you, it's brothers dropping 40s and 50s dropping.
And it's
Like
from stress.
brothers ain't even seeing 60 no more.
It's from stress. Yo, man, I seen. Look, check this out, man. I'm
Hmm.
telling you what. I can't. I ain't gonna talk about my life because that's not fair. There will come a day and time. But
that
what I'm,
that memoir is gonna be a motherfucker.
yeah. But I will tell you this: when you become unstressed, everything about you start to change. And me going to Philly was so wonderful, Agony. I wish I could have expressed this when I came back, but it was so much stuff on my mind. I still couldn't even. I'm gonna tell you, once you leave and you realize you can start over, you don't care what people think anymore.
Mm.
What's the benefit to being popular? If you like me, can I call you and say that I need you to pay my mortgage and my bills because I'm popular? Will you do it? No, you won't.
Nah.
And right, it doesn't mean anything. So I don't need to walk around living a lie. No, what you said was some bullshit.
Tell them.
And I'm gonna call it. Because if I lose you, I win because that's less of a person that when I'm up on my dean, that can come and ask me for help, because maybe you'll be just offended enough to stay the fuck away from me.
There you go.
You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
And that's my
In
hope.
essence they prove their worth
Yeah.
or lack thereof.
Stay away from me. Stay the fuck away from me.
Yep.
Because you don't have anything to offer me. Oh, yeah, what they gonna say? He said a lot of nice shit when I died. Is that what they gonna say?
Right.
One
That's
thing
what.
I want people to say is that be like, you know what? That motherfucker meant every fucking thing that he said, and
That
every
part.
time he said it. And I'm so amped up sometimes, man. I'd be like, give me a reason to knock your teeth out of your mouth, even if it means I got to die too. Because I got some aggression about some things that I ain't got to let off on nobody. You know what
Yep.
I'm saying? So, no, man. No, that Mr. Nice Guy shit, when people have asked me for things, I have done everything that they've asked me to do. When people have worked for me, I paid them every dime that they were supposed to get paid.
True.
And it got me nowhere but fucked.
True.
So, damn that shit. I don't have to be nice to you. And if you want somebody to be nice to, there are so many niggas out here that are oblivious. Find them. Stay the fuck away from me.
Hey, as one of my boys said, go find you a sucker and have a sucker fest.
That's right. Stay away from me. Cause
Big shit.
cause look, I got a rap sheet that say that I don't obey laws. I don't care what the law of the land is. I
Yeah.
don't care what these social stigmas are about what you can do. You might end up getting your teeth knocked out. Now, I might get in trouble for that, but guess what? You ain't gonna talk to nobody else like that. You're gonna think twice.
Because you ain't got no
Leave.
teeth.
That's right. You're gonna be like, shit, it's some dogs out here that will bite your ass. And I'm one
That
of
part. That part right there. Definitely that part right there. And that's what those type things. And it gets real, y'all. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
It get real on this after dog shit, y'all. Hey, yo, I got that box in the corner to say we can say what the fuck we want.
On the Ratchet Hour, we can and we will. And I want to say this. I can back everything that I say up biblically, bro. I know that sound hard,
No, that's real.
but if somebody would just ask, how can you back that up? I would love for them to ask, but they won't ask. People won't come nowhere near me with information because they might
Uh,
have to research first.
right, because the thing is, a lot of times, when you have those people that come with the quick reactions, it's 9 times out of 10 it's out of emotion. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Logic takes some thought. Emotion comes right out. You know what I'm saying? And so if you come in on a Facebook post where I just posted it a minute ago, 2 minutes ago, and you already got a paragraph, all that's in your feelings right there. All that's in your
That's right.
feelings. And the thing is, I'm not here to if I'm on there stating some truth, my truth don't have to validate your feelings. But my truth validates itself. You get what I'm saying? Truth gonna stand on its own. It's a lie that needs help. It's a lie that needs a following. Truth standing on its own. Truth don't need no help. Truth don't need no lampshade. The light gonna shine. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You know, Elijah Muhammad said this: the most dangerous man in the world, excuse me, the most dangerous man in the world is the man with nothing to lose.
Man, nothing to lose. There you go.
So when you get to a point where you've almost died, or people telling you you're gonna die and you face death, that shit changes you, man. It
Hmm.
changes the way you feel about people, because you realize that your mortality is real. Like
It's real.
you really can die. And it's like, I don't have to, I don't know what could happen tomorrow. I don't have time to waste time with you. And you might can kill me. You might be stronger than me. You might can kill me. But you will have to. You will leave me alone, or you will suffer dire consequences. You will leave me alone. Because if I don't bother you, you don't bother me. And I don't care who you are. The Bible says, honor thy mother and thy father. Now, I'm down one because mama dead. There's only one other person I have to honor.
Hmm.
I owe nobody else anything. Nothing.
That's real. Yeah.
I don't, and I really do live by that. And every now and then you get somebody that tiptoe across that line and say, "I'm going to see if the water's hot." I will knock the shit out of your ass. You know, and I won't think. I don't care if you kill me, dude. I have blown glass doors out in Atlanta with my own forearm. I have ran my Escalade through buildings. I have knocked the shit out of people. I have fought groups of men at one time at Memorial Stadium.
Memorial Stadium, classic shit.
This is real shit. What I'm saying is that
Was you at the
I,
Southwestern
I
Carol Stevenson game?
it was you know what? Maybe that was the game I got jumped at. But you know what?
Damn,
I'm gonna
I was
say
actually being funny. Shit.
I it was Stevenson. I might have been some, but what I'm saying, I am not. I'm not playing. I wasn't playing then, and I'm like I said, bro. You could Agony. I love you. I love you, but you could die tomorrow, man.
That is true.
And I don't want that for you.
Me
I want
neither.
you to, yeah,
That's
you
gonna be
know.
going live tomorrow night.
But why are we mincing words with people? Why are we not calling spades spades? Your
That is true.
spirit tells you when something isn't right.
That is
And
true.
the laws of the land, slavery was the laws of the land, but
At
it
one
doesn't mean
time.
it was right.
That's true.
You know, it doesn't mean it was right. So why do we have to be in a position where we take shit and people say that you're not being a gentleman or you're not being a bigger man or you're not being chivalric because
You won't let them dump that shit on you?
right. I mean, but look, if okay, biblically, if it says, and then let's roll into the man on man thing.
Mm-hmm.
Biblically, if it says, love thy neighbor as thyself, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I love my neighbor as myself and I fulfill my contract because I love my neighbor as myself. Then the inverse would be, see, we think it's just a commandment, but it's actually a mathematical formula, right?
Right.
And so if we say love thy neighbor as thyself, and we love thy neighbor as we love people, we treat people how we want to be treated. And then the way that you treat me is the way that you feel about yourself because it is a mathematical formula.
Mm-hmm.
So essentially, the way that you are loving me the way that you love yourself. Why do I have to be different than the way that you treat me? Because there's a US law that says that?
Good, bad, or
Uh,
otherwise, right?
Right, you know what I'm saying? So now I have the right to return back to you by virtue of inverse mathematics.
Mm-hmm.
I have the right to love you back the way that you have loved me.
Right.
And we can hide behind US law, but when has US law ever superseded natural law and God's law?
Oh shoot, they fight that shit every day. Now whether it works,
It's about to come. It's coming. It's already happening. I told y'all
oh
this,
yeah,
man. It's
oh yeah,
already happening.
oh
So
yeah. We got
we can stop with all these laws to protect people. And I'm sorry, we can stop with laws that protect people from treating people a certain way. And now, if you're my wife, now this is a man-woman relationship. It is commanded that I am to love you as Christ have loved the church and deal with you according to your understanding. But that's if we're wed. If we're not wed, and I don't know if either you are, let me tell you something, man. Some shit is about to change in this damn country. Go ahead, my brother.
we got Saga Boss in the building checking in.
Saga boss.
They say U.S. law don't love us. It's like hell nah. I mean shit. That's how we ended up here.
That's right. Yeah.
That's how we ended up here. But yo, on the last tick of Ratchet News for the night, man. Yo, I saw the video. I think you sent me that video, or I ran across it one. where the brothers on the podcast, the sisters interviewing him, and he's talking about, he would marry a man strictly for the benefits. So
Yeah.
the sister's confused. Like the woman's confused. She's like, "Wait a minute. So you're gay?" And he was like, "No, I'm not gay. I'm not gay. I'm not bisexual. I like women. I love women." And was like, "Yo," because he didn't want to deal with the bullshit that would come with marrying a woman. He wants to get married strictly on paper, almost as like two men entering a business contract and reap the benefits of a marriage. I think one of the things that stuck out to me the most was because this sister didn't understand it. The first thing she does is try to attack this man's sexuality. Like she kept coming for me, he kept explaining it. So she was like, "Well, you got to be gated if you want to marry a man." And she's missing the point that this isn't about love, but it's about business. You know what I'm saying? She's missing that point. So, like I said, she don't understand. She got to attack his sexuality. Well, you must be bisexual or something. Like she's really going hard on this man, and to the point where he's just like, "You don't get it." So he kind of left it where it was, but I don't know. They made a movie about this joking not too long back, Green Card Status. But they made a movie about this joking some years back. I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry, to where, you know, being divorced, he was gonna lose his insurance. He wasn't gonna be able to afford the insurance because it was going up, and it would only be able to afford it if he was married. So he asked his friend to be his husband on paper. Now of course it's an Adam Sandler comedy, so they do some goofy shit in the process. But if you really just take a step back and look at what was going on with that scenario, this two men entered into a business arrangement just so he could still receive benefits.
Well, yeah, and that's actually where the civil union thing. There's two parts of this agony.
Hmm.
That's actually where the business portion of this, how can I say it, derive with civil unions, because you first and foremost, no one needs a license to love anyone. You don't need a license to love. So when we start talking about license, right? Because marriage is a business arrangement.
Hmm.
And I can tell you that is very real if you ever find yourself getting a divorce. And it is very, very real. And the money that you spend is very, very real. Uh, it's real money that comes out of your account. You don't need a license to love, but the origination of civil unions was centered around the ability to have benefits or assets bequeathed to individuals of same sex, right?
Hmm.
Because same sex marriage was not legal,
Right.
and then and then
That was around the days of the domestic partnership.
right, to be able to have final say for a loved one in a hospital, because there were laws that said the spouse gets final say about pulling the plug or whatever if they're in a comatose state. So there is an understanding, and what basically has happened is that you have a bunch of men who have, I think, looked at it for what it is, the legal aspect of it. But you have to also understand that when this woman says, "Well, I don't understand why," right? She can say, "I don't understand why a man would do that," or whatever. They do understand. They do, because the majority of men that I have talked to that have reached out to me. Now, this is not a small majority, this is a large majority. There are men out here that have found great wives. And I
Mm.
think that I'm very happy for them. And I really, really am. But the large majority of men, the large majority of fathers who have custody of children, husbands, fathers, have found that women thoroughly understand how marriage works. And that's why you hear the complaints. First and foremost, there's cliches like happy wife, happy life, right? Which
Mhm.
means that inherently the man is not supposed to be happy as well. Okay. But then, right, as long as she's happy, we're happy. No,
Right.
as long as we're happy, we're happy, right? You know what I mean?
Happy spouse,
And
happy house.
right, because when you deal with anybody that may or may not have an insatiable appetite that can continue to change, it just grows like it's a thirst that can never be quenched. Nothing you ever do is enough, right? You know what I mean? Like you can't fix that. There's no way to fix it. But they understand that marriage is a business. They understand that. That's why they get involved in it. So you can't say that because every most of these men will tell you that women want to be, and this is not all.
Mhm.
Listen to the words. Listen to the words. This is not all. But this is why you hear a lot of men say, she changed up after we got married. Right? You will hear that so much. I'm telling you, my brother, because now the contract's done. Now you owe me. You know what I mean? So they do understand that. So they to say that they don't understand why a man would do that I cannot buy that. However, I do understand how that will be hard to explain because any rational woman would probably say, so you were married to a man, but you're not gay. I can definitely understand where they're coming from with that. That I can understand.
Mhm.
And with that, and then so then their last point. I'll let you take it home. I actually did my research because I like to be on point when I talk about things of these natures.
Okay.
And I talked to a CPA, and she told me that there's not one size fits all. So it will not work for every man. It will not work in every scenario. There are different scenarios, being married, filing separately, being married, filing jointly. There are
Mhm.
income amounts. There are different state requirements. There are dependent numbers. There's
Mhm.
all types of variables. And there are tax shelters that scammers use, but the IRS at some point is going to catch you between 5 to 10 years. So if you're only doing it for that, I would caution you based off of the research that I did because I knew we would have this discussion and I wanted to make sure I had the proper information.
There you go. There you go. So, if nothing else, stay on top of your books, fellas. As the great running back Marshawn Lynch would say, protect your chickens. Any final thoughts, man? Because it's been a real one. Like I said, and it's one of those things. Just one I love about this late night thing. It don't take much, and it don't
It
take much.
doesn't.
But it go hit you hard. I'm telling you, like yeah, Mayweather went 12 rounds doing a lot of blocking, but it's a Tyson fight right here. You
It
fin-
it, it
you finna
isn't
get
it?
knocked out in the first three.
And I never know if it's gonna be me or you that's gonna do it, or both of us. But I mean, I love it, man. And like I said, man, I love you like a brother. And
No doubt, it's all love, baby. It's all love.
and
Tell
I
them
and I thank you. I thank you for everything.
we got beer in the conversation tomorrow.
We do not. During the conversation, had to take a quick pause. I had to do some reorganization, and I'm thankful for all of our supporters. We have really elevated. Um, we really have, man. We've started to really pick up some steam, man. I love all of my sisters. The sisters support me really, really heavy. We got some great brothers too, man. And we got some good white folks, man, like white men, white women, everybody, because all we're doing is we talking about common sense. We just talking about it from our perspective, where we live and what we go through. And of course you're always gonna have a dissenting opinion, and I'm okay with the dissenting opinion
Oh,
because I
absolutely.
think it's necessary, right? I mean, it's the the opposition is what's made us better over the years because it's made us tighten our game up a little bit.
Right.
You
And
know,
plus, I
but
mean,
I
you can't have one without the other. Like the yin and the yang come together. I got Miss Richard
absolutely.
in the building. What's happening with your shoulder? Ain't it past your bedtime? I know where you work at.
Uh-oh. What's she saying? Was she just waving?
Yeah, she just waving. It's good to see you. Appreciate you. Definitely appreciate you for stopping
Thank you,
through.
Queen. Thank you, Queen. Yeah,
Definitely. Thank you.
so I mean, we're gonna keep doing this, and I know that the more that we do it at night, the late night show, that it's going to pick up steam and get notoriety. And again, I mean, I love everybody, man. I don't have any gripes or ill will, but we gotta start calling things for what they are. We can't. We are the leadership for the black community at our age right now, right? You know what I
That
mean?
is
And
that is true. That is
we at
true.
the
I
we
was
at the
agree.
age of leadership. We can lead the '60s and we can lead the '20s, right?
Uh, right. Like I mean, it kind of hit me today. Like yeah. Like what I'm saying that mid late 30s is like what I'm saying that is that point. It's a pivotal number. You know what I'm saying? Because like you said, we're at the point now to where got the 60s on this end, got the 20s on that end.
And it's a lot of young brothers. While we did complain about them not having fathers, one of the things, and I want to give a shout out to Josh from Kingdom Productions, who I
Mm,
seen him chime in, and I care about this young man. He is a very good young man. He's 26 years old, and I want him to know I haven't always had an opportunity to reach out to him when he has reached out to me. And if he is still watching, I want him to know that I do care about him. I do care about you, Josh, and I have not forgotten about you. And while there are a lot of young black men out there who have not had a good influence from a man, I want them to know that, and I want you to know this too, Agony,
hmm
that while it appears that this is a pitfall for us, like in our community,
Right.
what we're doing with media is an opportunity because
Right.
BET could raise these young boys. They could raise them. But everybody who tunes into what we do, we're giving something to offset that.
We're
We're
giving
really
substance.
being black men. Yeah.
Speaking of, and then I'm gonna speak on this, and then we're gonna get up out of here. What you think about the murmurings that's going on about Tyler Perry and Byron Allen buying BET?
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I like Kanye West. If you ask me what Black history is, or if you had to compare LeBron James and Kanye West, in terms of Black history, who made Black history, I would say that some people will hold hands with people, and then some people will speak against those same people. And most of the time, the imagery is used for the purpose of the manipulation of the mind, um, for us, by taking people who have status in our community and using them, I think, as a way to control our mindset and to control our focus and to get support for a cause that doesn't even benefit us. But I think that to stand up, when you have a community that people stand up to, that nobody has ever beaten, and they win, I think it says a lot. And I think that you have to look at who owns the media, the
Mm,
who really owns the media. And I think that you have to look at the people who were the the well intentioned people who attempted to buy media, and then witch hunts that come after them,
mm.
like Bill Cosby,
Bill Cosby,
right?
yeah, that's the biggest one.
People start coming back from the grave 25 and 30 years later, you know. And so I think that the people who really have the interests of the community at hand are oftentimes defeated. And I think that people who are willing to acquiesce to the deleterious influence that they want applied upon our culture are the ones that are accepted, sir.
There you have it. If y'all didn't get what that was, then yeah, y'all rewatch this. Just rewatch it and rewind that part back a few times, because yeah, Uh, there it is right there. Y'all tune in right here tomorrow night at 8 for the Dope Show spin-off The Planning Period, where me and my fellow educators get together, and like I said, we get to talk to adults for an hour and a half with no kids around. Oh, and make copies, find coffee, try to have a zen moment, catch a quick 30 insider. And you know what I'm saying? It's just that time and space to where educators really get to just sit and chill for a second. So be here tomorrow night, 8 o'clock, for the planning period with me, DJ Agony, and guest co-host Ms. Parker. She will be in the building. Also follow, like, and most importantly, share Dope Enterprise on Facebook, Dope Enterprise on YouTube, Dope Dot Enterprise on Instagram. When you see this, share it. I mean, yeah, we appreciate the likes. I appreciate the comments, but what I appreciate the most is the shares. Let your peoples get in on this, because, like I said, you never know what part might hit whomever when they watch any dope material I put out there. So make sure y'all get on there and hit that share button first and foremost, man. Anything you want to let the people know how to get in contact with you?
Well, I mean, look, my name is Laris Hodges, at Beer in the Conversation one
One.
on IG. I think I'm Laris Hodges on TikTok too. We got the YouTube page up. We're gonna start doing some things there.
Okay.
You can expect to see me and Agony doing the late night show. This is what we do. This is my brother. I love him. We're gonna be in the building, and that's it. Sir.
All day. As I like to end every show, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery that mediocrity can pay to greatness. I am DJ Agony. That is Kid Dynamite. And we are out. But you know what I'm saying? We just out for the moment. But we'll be back. When we gonna be back? When we get back. Who knows when that's gonna be? I'm out. Peace.